What would a life that you love actually look like? I stopped fantasizing about the life I'll have in my next chapter, the retirement, some of you may call it, but it's my next chapter because I'm not going to stop working. But I kept fantasizing. I was sitting at my desk. I wouldn't say in misery, but definitely in pressure and the stew of the office drama, etc. And I would just daydream. One day I won't have to sit here in the middle of all this. But I no longer daydream because I'm planning it, and it is more real to me now than the fantasy it once was. So this next chapter fails without intention. We can't just wander into it and expect to live the retired life, the next chapter life that we've envisioned our entire work career. No, you have to make some intentional choices and decide what your retirement is going to look like for you. And the fantastic thing about this is you are the boss of absolutely everything. So this series 7, no, I'm sorry, this series 6, these 7 videos have all been about one thing. What are you going to do when you no longer have to go into the office? When you have finally reached your goals, worked your plan, made your decision, and you are out of there, what is your life going to look like? Have you given that as much effort and thought as the plan to get the heck out of there? You should have. And I want to make sure you at least go into this season fully armed, planning what your life is going to look like through the mire and the muck of working the financial end of it, making sure you've stacked up your cash and you've got all your ducks in a row. It's the planning of your life in this next chapter that is going to get you through. Some days you get called into a meeting and you get dumped on with all this additional work because young upstart couldn't manage it or couldn't handle it, and all of a sudden you're called in to clean up their messes again. Plan what it's going to be like when that's no longer even a possibility, and you'll get through that a lot easier. Because retirement, the next chapter, is not just about leaving the job, leaving all of that behind. It's about what you're going to do with it, with the retirement, the next chapter, because it's all up to you for the first time in your life ever. It is all up to you, and I hope you're as excited about this as I am. Yes, for many of us, there is a long road to hoe to get from where we are to that golden ticket, the Willy Wonka golden ticket to get us into the chocolate factory of retirement. And some of us are not fully going to retire. It doesn't matter. It is still your choice that this is your last job. You're going to use them as a tool to build the life you want. And if that life is to keep working, even if it's a step down or a glide down or completely on your own terms with your own side hustles or your own consulting business, that's what we're working for. Whether you need the money or not, and many of us do, we have a gap between what we've saved, what Social Security is going to bring us, and what we need. We're working on that too. There is no reason to give up hope if you started late or you're just now starting. You got this. This series is as much for you, because if you don't spin the dream in front of you, what is all this for? What is all the planning and the backbreaking in the last 30, 40 years of our lives? What's it been for? There is something better for us. And we've known it all these years. It's not what they promised. It's not what we assumed. None of us, or very few of us, and if you are about to retire to a very wealthy lifestyle, don't tell us about it in the comments, because you are the unicorn. We're, let's say, the common folk. We're the every Joe. We're the every Gen Xer out there who has done the best we can, living the life that we've not had to live, living the life that we have lived. And now we're standing at this crossroads. In our next chapter is going to be different. But we're done. We are done counting down to Fridays, and oh God, it's Monday when we get there. Right now, many of us still working because we got a plan. We got to finish towing that line. But what are you going to do when you get there? What's it going to be like when you don't have to fret a Monday? Sunday night, you don't have to get all depressed and moody because got to start it back over tomorrow. No, we don't, because we're done with that. Even if you're still working a part-time job or a glide down situation, Mondays are going to feel different. But start planning it now. So we have all spent decades, and yes, decades. We got way more sunsets behind us than we do in front of us, but we have just spent decades in the trenches, raising families, killing it, dragging it home, in survival mode a lot of that time period. Not many of us started making tremendous amount of money immediately after high school or after college. There were salad days, and those salad days became the norm. So as we got raises, some of us didn't do the lifestyle creep. Some of us continued living on salad days. But we've been in survival mode long enough. Hopefully, when we get to retirement, we're still going to have to be fully aware of what's coming in, what's going out. But gone are all of those extra expenses. You're no longer raising kids. You're no longer having to commute to work. So if your car needs a brake job, well, you can work around that for a while until you've got the money for the brake job. Unlike back when we were working, if that car needed something, that was critical. That was, oh, dear Lord, I've got to get to this job. I've got to get the kids to school. I've got to get the husband, et cetera, et cetera. So no longer are we going to dread Mondays and worship at the altar of Fridays. And we're no longer in survival mode. Yes, we are very cognizant. There we go, big word for the day. We're very cognizant of what we have to spend and what our expenses are. But it's no longer the world's going to come to an end, because we've learned we can economize, we can cut this out, we can be more crafty and creative with how we prepare food at home or shop secondhand stores or thrift stores for clothing versus the main department store. And God knows I love me a Kohl's sale, but at the end of the day, I'm still buying a lot of my wardrobe, even for work, from thrift stores. It's the way I was brought up. And there's a lot of great clothes there that need their forever home. So I've helped them out over the decades. But what kind of life do you actually want? We are not yet retired. Reason why we're all here watching these videos. But think about it. What kind of life do you want when you retire? You got a bucket list? You got things you want to go out and do? Not only can you start envisioning and dreaming and planning, a lot of those things are going to require a physically fit and healthy you. So if you want to go climb a pyramid or the Leaning Tower of Pisa or Machu Picchu, whatever your dreams are, what can you do now to make sure you're physically capable of enjoying that in the youth of your senior year and do it better than you could do today? So if you've got time between now and hybrid retirement, glide retirement, full retirement, whatever your retirement's going to look like, start doing some great things for your future self. Your future self is going to thank you for the activity, for the health, for the experiences. So don't let this time pass you by, and don't give up. Here's something that has motivated me time and time again. Do not give up on something that you want because of the amount it's going to take. Because that time, it's going to pass anyway. So I'm going to leave you with this before I give you this golden nugget of Jenisms. I'm Jenny. I got a little to say about a lot of stuff, and all of it has to do right now with retirement and how do we get there and what does it look like, and do I have to fully quit work? What if I want to keep doing this or develop a side hustle? That's why we're all here. Or for me and for not most of you, some of you actually love your job. How do you continue working a job as your last job, because you don't want to have to get another one, using it as the tool that you need to get to your exit, but you hate it. You absolutely dread going into it every day. That's more mindset work, but here we're going to set some goals. We're going to figure it out. We're going to help each other survive what we have to do, because we've been doing that for a long time. So we're all just going to pull up our bootstraps, plan the work the plan, give ourselves goals and celebratory moments, and when the final end comes for this particular job to sunset, we're going to celebrate together. All right, so here's your Genism I want to leave you with. Freedom means absolutely nothing if you recreate the same misery by lack of planning and lack of intention that you're leaving. You do not want to walk into this next chapter, look around and go, well, dang, nothing's changed. Because no matter where you go, there you are. So you have got a plan. Intentionally craft the life you want to live. So this next chapter, it can either happen for you or it's going to happen to you. But it's going to happen. So like, share, subscribe. Keep coming back. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This is video 7 in series 6. So what are you going to do when you finally get to that next chapter? We're going to do a YouTube live later today. You guys come back and join us. And if this is you in the future, hello. And go and check out for the YouTube live. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Stop recording. So again, if you're some multi-bazillionaire, go away. You have a great life. You do. But unless you're going to write us all a $50,000 check, okay, this is going in the bloopers because that's just mean. Good for you if you've got all that money. Good. We're glad for you. Good on you. And for those of us who will be able to not work anywhere, and eventually I will probably stop working. I don't know. I could be Warren Buffett, work to my 90s. You guys stick around and we'll all find out together. How's that? But I'll quit work when I choose to, or there's no reason to bring in extra money. But I don't know. That's going to be a hard habit to break. I have always had to earn money for what I wanted. And yes, there is a mindset shift when we go into retirement. And as the money grows over the years, there may end up being a surplus that I'm no longer required to keep going out and earning it. That will be a fantastic day when that happens. But if it doesn't come, I'm willing to die with my boots on. There we go. I've said it. So no longer are we going to dread the weekend, survival mode, and by dread, so you have got a plan, intentionally